Thanks. It's great to be here, guys. My name's Bob, and I sound like the kind of guy parents leave their kids with if they never want to see them again. I'm not going to start by asking if you're all well. I'm just going to assume that you are by virtue of the fact that you're here. And just so you know, when a comedian asks that question, are you well, they do so with the same sincerity you ask a work colleague you secretly hate on Monday if they had a good weekend. So with that in mind, I'll ask you a different question. Do you ever walk down the street, see a stranger, and for no real reason you just think, oh, fuck you? I say that fully aware of what I must look like to a stranger walking down the street. No one's looking at me thinking, oh, I bet he could negotiate a good Brexit deal. I saw a missing cat poster taped to a lamppost offering a big cash reward for the feline's safe return. So I called to inquire how much that reward was. An old lady said £50. I said, no thanks, I think I'll just keep the cat. I bought my nan one of those Stannis stair lifts for her birthday. She said, nice thought, dear, but I live in a bungalow. So I put the tracks around her walls, bought a second chair, and on the weekends we play pensioner scale electrics. I used to volunteer manning a depression hotline, but they won't let me do that anymore. Turns out trying to be part of the solution was creating them more of a problem. I remember I took a call from one man. He told me he was a gambling addict, that he'd lost all his money and that had made him really depressed. I said, look on the bright side. He said, what bright side? I said, this is a free phone number. The smacking of children divides opinion. I mean, I was smacked as a child, of course, but my parents were different. They were tactical about it, because if I misbehaved, they wouldn't smack me straight away. Oh, no, they'd wait until my guard was down. I went for a drink with my dad last week, and he kicked me in the balls. I said, what was that for? He said, for taping over Bullseye in 1992. I think work colleagues are a lot like family members, you know. You don't pick them, they're annoying as fuck, and sex with them never ends well. My work colleagues are the kind of people that if I see outside of work walking down the street, I cross over and punch in the back of the head. But whenever someone new starts in the office, I'm always super nice to them just in case it's an episode of Undercover Boss. I'm like, hi, my name's Bob, pleased to meet you. If you need anything, just let me know. P.S. I need 50 grand for new legs and I have never been to Disneyland. I've been with my girlfriend now for 2 years. We live together, which is fine. She said to me recently, Bob, you've changed. I said, no, I haven't. I have just stopped pretending. Because we all act on our best behaviour when we first meet someone we want to impress, don't we? I mean, how else would wife beaters get wives? They're not dishing out black eyes on the first date, are they, guys? That is a free date rule. When I first met my girlfriend, I pulled out all the stops. Everything was a good idea, nothing was too much trouble. I was going on picnics and meeting her cunty friends and all that good stuff. They say dogs are a man's best friend, don't they? But I'm not so sure all dogs agree. You ever see a dog owned by a homeless guy? That thing never looks impressed. It's like, oh shit, how did I become best friends with this arsehole? His breath smells worse than mine. It's never their fault in that situation, is it, though, the dogs? It's never their fault. You never walk past a dog with a homeless guy and go, ooh, I wonder which one of you two fucked it up. I own a dog, which is cool because I no longer look out of place in a wooded area. Before the dog, I'd be walking through the woods, people would give me that look of, ooh, I wonder how many prostitutes he just buried. I think a good way of telling whether a missing person's dead is when police start searching the woods. How many alive people do they ever find in there? We've all seen the news stories, haven't we? The reporters talking, police searching a wooded area in the background. You never see an officer emerge from those woods shouting, found them! Panic over, guys, she's fine. She just went dogging and lost track of the time. That never happens, does it? They're always found brutally murdered. Brutally murdered. Now, that's a popular tabloid phrase, isn't it? Brutally murdered. And there was me thinking, all murders by their very nature were pretty brutal. Brutally murdered makes it sound like there's other murder options on the menu. Police found Janet, 84, earlier today inside her bungalow, having been lightly murdered. Her husband, Ken's, just learnt of the news and is said to be mildly heartbroken. I sympathise greatly with the women who get catcalled by builders on construction sites as they walk past. But for me, it's worse, because from a distance, the builders seem quite keen. Then as I get nearer and they realise I'm not a woman, they start throwing their tools at me. I've never understood why builders catcall. I mean, does it ever actually work? I've never been at a house party or social gathering, and when asking how a couple first met, the woman turns to me and says, well, classic story, really. I was on my way to work, minding my own business, when I saw Dave on top of some scaffolding shout, get your rat out. A horrible phrase, but a great name for a pest control company. I was sat indoors the other night feeling pretty depressed, so I called my ex-girlfriend to let her know that it was all her fault. Called her up and said, I can't carry on living, I'm on the roof, I'm going to jump. She said, go ahead. I said, don't you care? She said, no, not really, you live in a caravan. My friend gave me the biggest backhanded compliment the other day. He said, Bob, no matter what life throws at you, you're always so optimistic and you never moan. I said, thanks, but what have I got to moan about? He said, well, you're 30 years old, you're not on the property ladder, you're in a dead-end job and you're still single. And this made me sad. After a couple of drinks, I decided that death was my only option. So I killed him. That is it from me, guys. Thank you very much.